I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Call the meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. Just before we start, anybody who's there in Zoom and also in person, Councillor John Paciotti, and then Town Manager Michelle Floyling, Councillor Peter Lawrence, and myself, Councillor Matt Townsend. So, the first order of business are public announcements. Details may be found at www.fairfieldme.com. Fairfield is hiring with openings in the police, fire, public works, and Crossroads TV departments. Number 2, Fairfield's annual town budget meeting will be held at the Community Center on Monday, May 8th. That's again Monday, May 8th, 2023 at 6:30 p.m. Number 3, fourth quarter property taxes are due Wednesday, May 10th, 2023. That's Wednesday, May 10th, 2023. Number 4, the MSAD number 49 annual school budget meeting will be held at Lawrence Junior High on Tuesday, May 16th, 2023 at 7 p.m. Again, I'll repeat that, May 16th, Tuesday, May 16th, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Lawrence Junior High. The annual spring cleanup is scheduled from Monday, May 15th to Friday, May 19th. There are changes to the program. Brochures are available at the town office. And number 6, the MSAD number 49 school board and school budget validation referendum election will be held at the Community Center on June 13th, 2023. Polls are open at 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Absentee ballots are available May 15th through June 8th. The second order of business, public hearings. Seeing none. The third order of business, public comments. Limit of 3 minutes. Members of the public may speak to the council or request opportunity to speak on a specific item that is on the agenda, or may email comments for council to info@fairfieldme.com by 4 p.m. day of meeting. Submitted content may be read aloud at this time.
We have nothing.
Nothing? Anyone wishing to speak?
So there are some folks here in Zoom. If you wanted to speak during public comment, you'd have to turn your camera on or raise your hand, click the raise your hand button. Not seeing anything.
See? Nope. All right. Moving on to the fourth order of business, reports from staff and committees. So our first is the town manager report.
Okay, so also, we are now also hiring at the town office. We are looking for someone for counter help temporarily at this point, and then potentially move that into an administrative assistant position. That ad actually just went up today. And then also on April 18th, I attended the KV-COG Board of Directors meeting. We discussed the 23-24 annual budget that will be going to the full General Assembly in June for approval. The operating budget is up approximately $450,000 for them. However, increases in revenues covered that increase, so that was a good piece. We will, as well as all the other members of KV-COG, will experience a 3% increase in our membership dues. That was a staggered approach that was put into place last year, and that will carry on, I think, for the next 2 more years. April 20th, I spent the day in Augusta at MMA's Legislative Policy Committee. We worked through 64 bills. We will be meeting in May as well with probably another 100 or so bills, depending on, I think there's like another 250 bills to come out of the reviewer's office as of last week, but we're not exactly sure on that number. And then also that day we had the KRDA Executive Board meeting that evening. It was our first time meeting in person since prior to the pandemic, so that was a little interesting for them. And then April 26th, we received notification that we received, which is today, we received a $100 Flowers Everywhere grant from the Central Maine Garden Club. The funds will be used at Monument Park to replace edging around the 3 war memorials, the flower beds, and purchase some flowers and shrubs for that location. And then just for a project update, the annual town report was finalized over the course of the last week, and they were printed and delivered today. At this time, copies can be found at the town office and the community center lobbies. There is a version on the town's website. However, there was an issue in the spreadsheets in that version. It was one of the things that we had to correct at the beginning of this week. We'll get that corrected online as soon as we can, but the official copies are out and available. And one more thing for you. Councilor Thibodeau, who is attending the County Budget Committee meeting tonight, did call me and let me know that she had had a few folks inquire about the town of Fairfield responding to the police call that happened in the town of Anson. We had done a press release on that. And I had asked Chief Gould to speak to everyone about that, just to kind of clarify exactly what happened and the reason why they did go on that call.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So yes, we did respond to Anson. 2 of our offices did. Several, I believe 2 more of our offices, at least one of our other offices stayed back in Fairfield. So Fairfield did remain covered. What the incident was it was reported to us that officers or deputy sheriffs had signed off at a residence in Anson, and they started taking fire from the residence there. So when that call came in, we do what it's basically an all call. They called everybody that was reasonably in the area to respond. And because, say, Madison is shut down, Skowhegan is, almost as far away as we are from Athens, we all responded. They did request us to respond. It was approved by a supervisor. The captain was on duty. He was aware of it. But I think it's important that people remember that we're not responding to a complaint in Athens. We are responding to back up sheriff's deputies that were in a critical situation. So we would not normally respond to a call in Athens if there's nobody else available to respond. We solely back up the deputies when they arrive at an emergency and they need more help. And they do the same for us, probably much more than we actually do for them. We've had robberies here in town. We've had some serious fights and car crashes, and they're always right there for us when we need them. So I think the main thing to take from this is that we were backing up the deputies, making sure they were safe. They do it for us, we do it for them. The captain who was on duty felt it was a reasonable response. I back his decision 100%. And if anybody has any questions of me afterwards, feel free to ask. Are there anything that the council would like to know?
No, I think it's totally reasonable. I appreciate the insight and the clarification, but yeah, I think there's support in this community, and communities to support each other. So I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you, and we will continue to do it. As it is right now, staffing levels on all departments are shrinking. So we're helping out as much as we can, and we receive as much help as we hand out to different departments at this time.
Thanks, Chief.
Very good, thank you.
So I thought it would be best if we heard it directly from the chief, and therefore it would stop maybe sometimes the truth is never as interesting as what other people think it is. Sure. So it was just good to clarify that. And because of the fact, what was interesting also is that this was just on the heels of, yesterday being the anniversary of Deputy Cole's, when he passed. So it is a truly wonderful thing of what mutual aid can do in our municipalities. So to know that our staff are safe and our people are safe too. So
Agreed. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you for the garden club as well, helping the flowers. It's good.
yes.
Any other questions, concerns? There are no other committee reports at this time, but I'm not sure if you have anything from economic development.
We haven't met.
Yeah, you haven't. I didn't know if
We just got a
Stephanie had
meeting
talked.
next Tuesday
Very good.
at 3:30,
Thanks.
right here at McChambers.
The fifth order of business, the consent agenda. These items are considered routine and or standard business, and therefore will be enacted in one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests prior to consideration of this portion of the agenda, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered next on the agenda. Item 2356, order the Fairfield Town Council hereby waives the reading of and accepts the minutes for meeting number 2023-07 held on April 12th, 2023. Item 2357, order the Town Council hereby approves the treasurer's warrant, which...
Your revised agenda should say,
Number 106.
well, I thought I had a revised agenda,
Here's my revised.
You got the amount? We got the updated one.
but
Yeah.
which is number 106, general fund in the amount of $175,344.41. Not limited
2, but including Dirigo Engineering, MMA EHT, Motor Vehicles, and Kennebec Water District. Thank
So
you.
moved. Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, any discussion? All those in favor? Very good. All right. At this point, we have the sixth order of business, to take action on the following items of business as read by the council chair. Item 2358, ordered that the town council, in accordance with the statute, hereby considers and awards bids received for property acquired by the town for non-payment of taxes. Item A would be map lot 012-016-006, which we had several bids.
We did. We received 6 bids.
Yep.
Ranging from the lowest being $5,000 to the highest being $15,000. The tax collector treasurer did give you a brief little memo about the fact that none of the bidders on this property were the previous owner, none of them were relatives, nor are they abutters. Sometimes we take those things into consideration and not necessarily take the highest bid. So she is recommending that you award this to the highest bidder, which was Josh Stanley, in the amount of $15,000.
Do we hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
Hearing a motion and a second, any discussion?
Will this total amount shall be kept by the town?
So what happens is that after all of the back taxes and fees are paid for on that property, anything that's remainder goes in as a revenue for this fiscal year and goes to the general fund.
Very good. Any more discussion? All those in favor? And on item B, the map lot 019-157-00D, no bids received.
Will that be good? Uh-oh. How far back, Chad?
Be right back.
I wish he would.
Did you get the updated?
No bids received.
Okay, so Chad, I can hear you on Zoom.
I didn't get one today. I didn't get one today.
You get one?
No. Maybe, should have dug down. I was under,
Oh, there's mine.
I have everything muted.
That's fine. I'm all with.
maybe,
Should have dug down.
Oh, this, yeah.
I was like,
Can you
where's
hear
the
me?
number?
Oh, yeah.
I was like looking on this one and looking,
I could hear us through Zoom.
there we go.
Yep. Okay.
No,
I've done the same thing. I said,
well, me, no,
where's all the information?
At least I'll admit it.
it's fine.
I don't do it just for Fairfield, I do it for Skowhegan.
Good. Christine deserves it. Tell her I said so.
Well, I'd make a motion on B to table it.
Who is it?
I was going to ask a question.
Yeah, but he's not.
Will,
Wait, just 1 second.
okay.
Okay.
We may have to go back to the first one.
Properly for the meeting, so I mean, we're fine.
Okay.
So you made your motion, the
Right.
second, that it go
Right.
to
Okay.
Josh Stanley
Stanley.
for $15,000. We can recap your question that when the microphones went out was about what happens with the excess revenue that we receive. So after all of the back taxes are paid for, the fees, the filings, all of that, it goes in as a revenue line for this fiscal year, and we'll just go to our.
I just want to make sure the residents
Yep.
who are listening.
Understood that, and if we lost it, and we apologize, we did lost microphones here in the building for a brief second, but we seem to be back up and running now.
On part B, there are no bids.
Part B, I'll make a motion that we table Part B.
So typically what we've done in the past is you allow the treasurer or myself to facilitate the sale of that. And
Right.
then what happens is we bring it back to you when it actually
Well,
happens.
that's why I tabled it.
So,
Will they re-advertise it out, or
we'll try.
ask the landlords?
Yeah, it's a trailer that's currently within a park, so we may have to get a little creative. We may also have to just find somebody to come take it. Because what we don't want to have to do is start paying lot rent, right?
Or sell it to the person who owns
Or
it?
the people who owns the trailer park.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I'm not, I think we had tried that and they weren't interested, so we'll have to come up with something.
I thought on trailer parks, the owners pay property tax, and the lot rent goes to the owners to pay the property tax.
So in trailer parks, park owners pay on the land, and trailers owners pay on their trailer separately.
Okay.
Which is
Yep.
why oftentimes what you'll find is in some municipalities, the word "on" is after the map and lot number, means it's that piece of property sits on that map and lot, as opposed to it being just a regular map and lot number. But we have this, it's delineated in this one because of the 00D on the end of the map and lot number, that's why.
Okay,
So,
just want to make sure.
but we'll work on that and bring something back to you when you're done. Tabling it is fine.
Okay. Motion to table.
Second.
All those in favor?
Okay.
Item 2359, order that the town council hereby approves police department 5-year 2023 through 2027 taser lease update with Axon Enterprise, Inc., up to the amount of $15,410 to be expended from the police department operation budget in incremental payments over the next 5 years.
So move. Second.
Motion and a second, discussion. Chief, can you talk to
sir.
this?
Yes, sir.
So it's far cheaper now to lease tasers than it is to actually purchase them. If we purchase the tasers, we have to actually purchase all of the cartridges that go with them. And they're really not that interested in selling them to us anymore. So we have to lease, which is it's a significant savings to the town in the long run, because they cover the cost of the tasers, which can run up to $75, the cartridges, which can run up to $75 a piece, and we each need to fire 2 of those a year. So if you do the math over the years, it gets relatively expensive. The original quote, I think, was just over $20,000, but I declined it. And we had a bit of a back and forth via email, and they came back with a little bit better quote, a substantially better quote for us for the next 5 years.
What was the big savings on that, Tom?
About 40 some odd $100, maybe almost 5,000 they knocked off from it.
They serviced them too?
They service everything, and the 5 tasers that we leased the last time have run out now. Their leases run out. The new tasers will come with a $10 million policy. If the taser acts up, they have an issue with it, any of our tasers, they will cover us up to that amount, and they obviously will, send somebody up to testify in court if need be. It happens very, very rarely, but it's nice to know that we have that as part of this, that insurance program as part of this. And I did look all over the place for some better or even adequate, less than lethal device, and there's just nothing out there right now that matches this.
Michelle?
So the biggest reason why this is in front of you, because quite frankly, the yearly amount is well within my purview to even approve, but because it does commit us to a 5-year contract, and the overall cost of the contract was more than $15,000, is the reason why we felt it was best to bring it before the council, because we were committing us to that larger number over time. It ranges anywhere from $2,800 up to $3,300, just over $3,300 in its final year. So every year, you're going to see 24, 25's number was going to be in that budget and that kind of stuff. So we're not paying $15,000 up front for 5 years. It's so much every year. But because the sum total was that high, we felt it best to bring it to you.
I appreciate that, Michelle.
And we did not make a payment this year. Our last payment was actually last fiscal year. So we will have enough to do 2 payments, one immediately and then one in the next fiscal year. So that'll put us, 1 payment ahead at least.
Okay. Any questions? Thank you, and thanks for the negotiation. And
Good job.
dropping a few thousand off. That's great. Appreciate it. Any more discussion? Hearing a motion in a second. All those in favor? Item 2354, order that the town council hereby forms and advertises ad hoc water and PFAS committee subject to Town of Fairfield rules and regulations.
So moved.
Second?
Motion and a second. Discussion, I guess I will read off what I have, and then this will be obviously available on the website and then being advertised.
Yep.
So the committee title is Fairfield Committee to Address the Ramifications of PFAS Contamination. Seated council members are limited to John Paciotti and Matthew Townsend. Appointment applicant qualifications. Fairfield resident, schedule availability, strength in toxicology, ecology, and/or agronomy and agriculture, hydraulic engineering, real estate, and sustainable development. Committee mission: assess the continuing need for additional water and soil testing to provide a network of testing sites. 2, to investigate possible sustainable uses for contaminated property and establish a portfolio of possible alternatives for citizens' assistance. Number 3, develop a long-term plan for clean water availability for affected residents and areas of town, as well as conducting a cost analysis of current and future programs. The committee report will be due to council on a monthly basis with a year-end review. Number of committee members will be 7, and the committee schedule at this point to be determined by the committee members once monthly meetings are planned.
Okay.
Any questions for me?
I have a good proposal. My concern is, too, we don't have the quorum to approve this, because two councilmen on the committee has to sustain, only leaves myself. We got 2 councilors absent. So I just make a recommendation, we table this until the 2 other councilors come back. We can do a proper vote.
Yep. Point.
So, point of order, you already have a motion to approve, so you
Right.
have to deal with that
Yep.
first. Second of all, you do have 3 counselors to approve it. That's what you needed. That's how you were able to approve everything else that was
Right.
on our agenda. So, quorum is 3. The issue is that you 3 would have to unanimously vote in order for it to succeed.
I thought
Yeah.
there were
Don't have to
two on the committee. You can't vote.
No. This is just in the formation of the
Okay.
committee.
This is a formation
Okay.
It
committee.
doesn't become a
Okay.
conflict of interest for them.
Exactly.
That's a good
Right,
point.
but you certainly could table it.
Right.
It's just you have
No.
a motion on the floor already, so you would have to
No,
deal
I
with
think
that
it's,
motion. and-
I think it's fine.
I think it's a valid question by Councilor Lawrence, but I think there's no really conflict of interest, so I think we can move ahead.
Okay.
But I'm glad you brought up the question. So any more discussion? All those in favor at this point? Great. Thank you.
And just a quick little update
Yes.
on your last committee creation for the building committee. We have not received any applications for that committee at this time. So that is up. The applications are on our website. We have copies. I have them with me tonight, if anybody would like one, for folks to be on that committee, so that process can get going, so.
Yeah,
But we'll
encourage
get
people
this
to
advertised as soon as we can.
join in. Councilor Lawrence is going to be working hard on that, so I'm sure he would like some assistance. At this point, we have the 7th order of business, which is our council workshop and other business. The first is to discuss the natural gas boiler topic.
And this is really just it's a heads-up piece. We have an issue with our natural gas boiler that's at our fire department. We are experiencing some issues at the Public Works garage. These boilers were all installed at the same time when they're converted to natural gas. These boilers are beyond their warranty period. They're 5 years, so it was, I think it was a 5-year, and their warranty period just expired within the last year. The issues that we are seeing is we started to get estimates on fixing the one at the fire department. The repair is almost $9,000. The replacement is like $16,000. So I just wanted to make sure the council was aware that we're going to be looking into this, because what we may have to do is know that every single one of these boilers are going to have to be replaced. They're difficult to get parts, from what I understand. They were a product that was what we had available to us when natural gas became available, and the products that are out there now are of a better quality and different. So, but just we're not settling on this price that we received. We're still working on that. These were estimates that we got. So it is a bit concerning as to what this is. And we have them at the library, Public Works, police, fire, and town office. So, and here.
Yep.
And they're all the same brand, so.
If we could turn back time.
If we could turn back time. But I just really wanted to just give you a heads up that
Yeah,
this
thank
is
you.
something that we're working on, and it's gonna be expensive, no matter what we do, so.
Okay.
No way to turn back the clock or turn back the, go back the old way?
I wish. And one of the things we did not put in our natural gas TIF was to replace boilers, so we can't use TIF money for it either. But,
Thank you for that heads up.
you're welcome.
Next is discuss other council business. Councilor Pachadi.
I'm good.
Councilor Lawrence.
There's a few things going on this week. I noticed all over Facebook. Don't forget the residents, is tomorrow night at the Grange. There is a PFAS meeting set up by the local representatives from Augusta. Thursday night, April 22nd, at 5:30, 7:30 at the Grange. I recommend residents to be there for this informal, informational from our representatives. Also, too, Saturday morning at 10 to noon is a Fairfield Republican meeting, and also at the Grange. And also, too, Saturday night, same thing at night, 29th, the Grange supper from 4:30 to 7.
I think the PFAS meeting will be interesting. Representative Rudnicki, obviously, and then also Representative Dick Campbell, who's in the Bangor area. They've done one presentation already, and I'm looking forward to that. Unfortunately, I will not be there till maybe late, and I think you may have to
I'll be
be
there.
early, but I think Councilor Pachadi will probably be there, so it'll be interesting to hear.
I got one more thing. I want to thank all the hard work from the police, the fire department, EMTs, and CMP from the last week's little incident on Main Street. Shut a lot of businesses down during lunchtime, and a lot of money lost. So I want to thank the group. Good job. And
Quick response. Yeah, thank you. For myself, I think the biggest one is you start seeing the numbers come in, from our neighboring towns, and everybody's situation is different, and they do their best job for their citizens as they can. But I also am really proud to look at what we're doing on the budget end. If we approve every increase, we'll be at 1.5% increase, and that's by far the smallest increase in the area. That really comes down to, obviously, our town manager, but it really comes down to the department heads of each department, Public Works, Police, Fire, Town Office, just to really sharpen their pencils and do a great job for this town and the citizens, and helping us out when it comes tax time. So I appreciate the hard work on that end. I think everybody should recognize that. At this point, the next regular meeting of the Fairfield Town Council will be on Wednesday, May 10th, 2023, to be held as a hybrid meeting in council chambers and via Zoom at 6:30 p.m. At this point, do we have be time for recess? At this time, the council will recess and sign all documents that require the signature of council
make
members.
a motion to recess.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
We're recessed.
You only have one.